All right, and we are live with Roofing on the Rise podcast, where we explore the roofing industry, the innovations in the roofing industry, and the people that bring those innovations and they make them happen. I have a awesome special guest today. A special guest, Mark Donaldson. Mark, how are you doing today?
Doing good, Marquise. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's
Thanks for
awesome to be able to have you on this podcast today.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. It's good to be in fellowship with other roofers that are like-minded.
Freaking
So-
awesome, man. So let's go over some things, man. Roofing industry has expanded, has gotten larger here in the last, I'd say, 5 years, and a lot of people are doing a lot of different things. So tell us about yourself and what you do in the industry.
I'm based here in Houston, Texas. I'm a roofing and general contractor. I work with a couple of different companies. My main company that today that I'm working with is a company called Lone Star Roof Systems. But I have a couple of different entities with the nomenclature MD for Mark Donaldson or medical doctor, however you see fit. But it started out as Roof MD, and then I started up a company called Solar MD. So I'm one of the dumb guys that went to college and decided to get into the roofing business afterwards. And so I was a distributor rep in 04.
Really?
And I was a distributor rep for 12 years.
Really?
And with most of the major manufacturers, I worked with the proprietor here at a little small independent.
Okay.
And probably my best joy was working at a small independent. Like that's why I want to support these guys as much as I can. But yeah, so I started up Roof MD after I got out of the supply business, and I brought Allied to town and got out of that business in 15 and started up Roof MD in 15. Started selling as a contractor. I wanted to be a contractor for a long time,
Really?
but I didn't think I could. I didn't think I knew how to sell to homeowners, and then I learned the insurance part while I was selling to homeowners, and the rest is kind of history. But I took a little break and did solar, learned solar, brought a huge solar company today to Houston, out of Texas. It's now one of the largest alarm companies that just bought the solar company I brought. And
Really? That's pretty awesome.
Learned that business, and now I'm partnered up with these guys at Lone Star Roof Systems. They do a lot of more commercial metal roof stuff that I personally don't have a ton of experience in, other than in supply. I was mainly a residential
Okay.
kind of roofer. So, and then once you earn someone's trust, right, you get into taking care of business in other areas. So I do more GC work, and when you do insurance claims, it naturally evolves into other things. So I love doing wood floor insurance claims.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I do too. To be quite honest, you're going to make quite a bit of money whenever you do those. So
Yeah, you got to be picky and choosy. And Hurricane Harvey was a blessing and a curse for my business.
100%.
For Roof MD, but you got to be picky on who you take business on. But now you just smart about who you partner with, and but it's fun. You get one interior build back a month would be some nice way to
Make some money.
spend
huh?
some time and do different projects and have the creative. Roofing is sexy, right?
Right.
But it's kind of the same thing every time.
100%.
So it's kind of nice to have some diversity and mix it up. Adding solar panels on the roof, right, or making it energy efficient or better ventilated. That's fun.
Let's talk about that because solar is big, and I feel like solar gets brought up in this podcast more often than not. We've only had four. This is our fourth recorded episode, third one live. So pretty excited about that. Pretty excited to have you on in the conception of Roofing on the Rise. But every time we talk about solar fans or solar, like some sort of solar innovation, because I mean, when you look at it, even shingle manufacturers, GAF has a solar shingle.
Yeah.
So we're trying to go solar pretty much on a wide spectrum here. So we pretty much talk about it all the time. What do you utilize? How do you go about doing solar?
Well, it just depends. Typically, I'm going to use just like doing an insurance claim, right? It's usually cheaper for somebody to do an insurance claim than to pay for a roof all by themselves. It's generally better if somebody has some assistance in getting solar, right? And so with the tax credits, everybody has that assistance. They just don't know about it.
Okay.
So, as a homeowner or a business owner, it's a little more advantageous if you're a business owner. And so, it makes subsidizing the cost of the power affordable. Well, you add in roofing, a construction project in top of that. On top of that, you can just kind of leverage your economies of scale and get the same benefit on roofing at the same time. And you talk about commercial roofing and business owners, they can almost get double the amount of incentive to replace their stuff. So it's a not many people know about solar.
Right.
And I haven't done a good enough job in selling it as much. I sold probably 7 jobs through Solar MD.
Okay.
Um, because I wanted the stuff to be perfect, right?
Right.
And a job for solar is probably a cleaner job than a roofing job. It goes a lot quicker, and you have a happier homeowner faster. But I was focused on roofing because that's well I've known. And so the as far as the product goes, I'm still kind of old school. The I like solar panels on shingle roofs.
Okay.
I like redundancy. If you want to be redundant, put ice and water as your underlayment. Put up the panels and the racking, and then put some nice shingles up there and call it a day. As far as the new stuff goes, I don't know that the efficiency is there.
Yeah.
In the panels, I don't know that the price for that designer looking shingle is there.
I think whereas it comes to like price point for a shingle, and we're talking about the GAF solar shingle, because there's no other shingle that is solar on the market right now.
Mhm.
Dow, it's like $4. It's like $4 a watt.
Yeah. Dow had one.
That's more than you're going to pay generally on a solar loan. You're going to pay right around $4 a watt.
Yeah.
Right.
No, for sure. I mean,
So,
it ranged when we sold by the kilowatt, and at the end of the day, solar is a construction job, right?
Right.
It's not anything fancy.
Yeah.
And they're selling this loans. I sold a lot of solar at 0% interest for 48 months. I sold a lot of solar for 2.99% interest for 144 months. I didn't need 20 years and 30 years to pay it off.
Right.
You give me 20 and 30 years to pay off solar, it's a no-brainer.
It's kind of hard not to do it. You're sitting here leasing your power, and then you're going to own it.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Like, you're going to either rent your power or you're going to own it.
Yeah, for sure. And then some people have, it's really simple to sell solar. It's really simple to sell solar. It's not hard. We make it hard. Too many roofers are used to selling a system, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to be GAF, or we're going to be BP, or we're going to be Certainty." You look at their utility bill, you do a quick math equation, you qualify them first and foremost, because everybody's interested in it.
Right.
They just don't know about it, and so the first thing you got to be is be a servant and teach them. And if you don't know about it, how the hell can you teach them, right?
100%.
So that's how my strategy was. I learned the business, learned it too much. It was back when Louisiana actually had incentives where the state of Louisiana was paying 50% of the cost, and then the federal government was paying 30%. So you only had to put down 20%, and you'd get a whole new solar system.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah. If that ever happens again anywhere near here, I'm going to be jumping on it. I think down near Harlingen or Corpus Christi, there's a small little pocket. It's kind of like a hailstorm.
Right?
Really? They chase that just like we would chase a hailstorm or a hurricane.
Really?
They chase those incentives. But
makes sense.
Yeah. And so you got to learn the business. You got to make sure that whoever you're dealing with, one, if you sell solar, you should probably sell roofing. If you sell roofing, you should probably consider selling solar. If you do either of those, you should have financing, and then go from there. Just like if you do roofing,
let's talk about financing.
If you do roofing, right, you should offer some insurance. Yeah, you should do insurance. You should be able to do retail, and if you don't have financing, you should have financing.
Not a lot of contractors actually utilize financing. That's one of the big things in the industry right now. It's kind of a shift, right? Being able to offer that insurance job or that retail job for other than just that total amount. So, a client looking at a Worth House building product, they're metal, right?
Yeah.
You're looking at the top echelon of roofing. So just like Decra or standing seam, you're at the top echelon. So whereas it comes to bringing in the solar on this side of things, the financing is very crucial. If you are looking at buying a Rolls Royce, 90% of the time, let's say 85% of the time, you're going to finance that
Unless you're Darren Bro, right?
unless you're Darren Bro.
Yep.
But I mean, when you go down to get a Prelude, a lot of the times you could pay cash for that Prelude. You can finance it, but it's a lot better to finance that car than pay cash.
Yeah, I don't think it's a 20% rule, but it was. There's plenty of cash buyers that want solar, right?
Yeah.
Just like there's plenty of cash buyers that want to do roofing. You don't have to just sell insurance claims,
Right.
but usually it's going to cost the homeowner less money, right? And they're going to get a better return on their investment, and you're going to make more money as a roofer. In the solar game, if you don't offer financing, you're not going to sell as much, and if you don't sell as much, then you're going to have to sell more the harder way, right? And the reason I think people don't sell much financing, whether it's if you're doing a fence or you're doing a roof job or you're doing a roof repair, is like they just don't want to do hard work and learn how to do it, right? There's a cost plus kind of thing you got to figure out.
Right.
You got to know your cost. You got to be confident enough to build in that cost into your sales price and then go be a good salesperson. And if you can't do that, then you do what you've always done. And that's what, that's kind of how my business model is. I'm not like those other guys.
Really?
Right.
Okay.
And so you want a roof like those other guys, or you want a roof like Roof MD would install it, and or Solar MG project. But if people don't talk about what they don't know, and they don't know financing, they don't know solar, they don't know accessories. There's lots of stuff, right? And
100%.
I don't know how long have you been in the business?
11 years.
Yeah.
So financing is very crucial.
I guess next year's 20 years. So
oh wow.
I'm an old man.
Okay. Yeah.
And and then you get into something like this. I'm wearing a shirt from American Dent Specialist, right? I love acts of God. God's worked in my life in amazing ways.
100%.
And hailstorms and hurricanes are great, but there's a whole lot of other stuff with God. But what I learned is, an insurance claim is an insurance claim is an insurance claim. A finance job is a finance job is a finance job. And,
right.
So a buddy of mine owns this company called American Dent Specialist. If you're a roofer and you're working a good hailstorm and there's hail on it, you might as well consider referring it to a PDR company that's a paint, dent, and repair specialist, because you're looking at probably at least a car payment, maybe two in the driveway for you in a commission.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really, after you got the roof sold, it doesn't really hurt to be somebody that's adding value to them, saying, hey, I saw you had a dent in your car
right
from the hail. I have a guy. And everyone should have a guy. And if you don't have a guy, give me a call, 832-696-7663. I'll put you in touch with my buddy, Andy Ball. So
shout out to American Dent Specialist.
Yeah.
That is awesome. PDR is a big deal, and not a lot of people have looked into PDR or even really understand that when the roof gets hit, and this is how ridiculous it is. We look for collateral.
Oh, yeah.
We literally circle the house and look for the collateral so that we can prove it to the insurance company.
Let's talk about that specific collateral. We look for collateral damage, right?
Right.
Damage is damage is damage. We look for anything that gives us a story to tell and to sell.
100%.
And that's on the roof, the gutters, the windows. But if
it's on the cars.
If it's on the car, if it's big enough to hurt the car, it's gonna hurt the roof, right? So
absolutely.
But it doesn't. Here in Houston, we don't have to have too big a hail.
Right.
You get good storm dates. You don't always get the biggest hail, but it's still enough to damage cars. And if you get damaged, you get them paid for.
Absolutely.
Unless you want to have your house or your car go down in value. So.
Right. Definitely don't want that. Whereas it comes to the financing aspect of things, do you have a certain finance company that you like to deal with?
Oh man, there's a new one that I'm trying to work with called Moment, and I like the guys from there. I haven't yet executed on it, but I like the guys at Moment. Back when I was in distribution, we were partnered with a company that I think is underrated and is a really good company. It's called Interbank.
Okay.
ENER Bank. Great approval ratings.
Really.
Offered flexible stuff. Back in the day, Green Sky offered a really great split loan where you could take the loan and divide it into two. You could finance that tax portion, and then you could give them a lump sum. Today with the new deals, that they have for solar, it's different. They want to act like solar is some special deal. Really, there's just
Right.
bad salespeople out there that overpromise and underdeliver.
Right.
But once you just have a finance company, whoever it is, you set your price. You call up old D bro and get a number. You find out what your cost is. You find out what your labor is. You add your margin, and then you factor in whatever your dealer fee is. And um, it's just cost plus. It's not hard. It's just like you sell more credit cards. A lot of people don't sell credit cards because they cost them money. Well, if you add that into your price, it's just an extra sale. It's an extra tool in your tool belt.
Absolutely. Not a lot of people want to, like you said, they don't want to go through that extra step and they're losing money left and right. You don't accept credit card, you're losing money. You don't accept financing or you don't offer financing in at least 3 or 4 different kinds of financing, you're losing money.
Oh yeah. I mean, just not offering solar, right? You get some people interested in offer solar. We do metal at Lone Star Roof Systems. We make our own metal.
Okay.
We offer it on every job, right? Because people can't say yes if they don't know that you do it, right? And then
Absolutely.
there's a Ward House product that that's probably add that to the toolbox to have a higher end product to sell. But a residential asphalt shingle, standing seam metal, and a designer looking metal shingle, it sets you apart from some other guy that's just quoting an old 30-year that hasn't existed since 2012. So
You know what I like is, being able to sit down here and talk about all these things that we know we're very familiar with. And whereas it comes to, like you were talking about, cost plus, right? Um, Not a lot of, like, we've got contractors watching that I'm sure don't really understand that model, right? Like they jumped into contracting and it's like, how do I do this? What do I do? Right. So,
well, that's the first thing that they teach in distribution, right? Is margin versus markup.
yes, sir.
If you don't know if you think your margin is something, but you're really just doing a markup, you don't know what your margin is. That's the first thing I learned. I also learned you can't spend the gross uh, profit percentage. You can spend the gross profit dollar. And so
Yes.
if you don't sell it, you don't get the job, and you don't. So take the order off the street and then figure it out. But yeah, there's a lot of it, we're blessed that there's a lot of bad business people.
Yes.
I was one of those guys for a long time, right? I didn't know what I was doing as well as I could. I thought I knew better, and you have to learn through experience and through going through stuff. But hopefully, you learn from stuff and you get there, right? But learning numbers and your margins, being a steward of the business that you're doing is a key,
Mm.
and then learning product, and then getting out of your comfort zone, and then figuring out what you're really good at, right? But why would
That's
you?
key right there.
Why would
That
you?
is key.
Why would I'm like great at sales. I love to sell. I love to market. Love to talk product. Love to connect. I don't want to go build anything. Like I don't want to go check the trucks when I was in distribution to make sure they're strapped down enough, right?
Right.
Darren, on the other hand, loves that stuff, right? He likes to smell the tires on the trucks that carries his shingles to the job site, right? I don't
Yeah.
care about that. I just want to make sure that I got the truck full of product to go roll out the yard, right?
Absolutely.
But you don't if you don't learn, these guys don't want to be craftsmen, right? They want to be. I work with a guy that's a craftsman. Like he knows everything about almost anything, and it's a blessing. I want to know really how to sell the job, how to overcome whatever the customer wants, how to bring them stuff of value because they'll bring them products that they don't know, and then provide a solution that's going to be helpful, right? And sometimes that's pointing out a problem in what my competition's offering. Sometimes it's just offering something that's different and showing that you care, right? There's a lot of contractors that just don't. They just they kind of just order takers. And
Let's talk about that. Order taker versus actually putting out a sale, because not everyone is a sales rep and not everybody actually sells the job. A lot of people just take the order. I actually have 1 or 2 of those in my sales team. And you can teach them until you're blue in the face. Showing them is everything. And being able to take them out into the field, show them how to do it, but you can't necessarily embed that into somebody's brain.
Yeah, shout out to TJ Ware and Jackie Ware. owners of Paradise Claims,
Ooh, ooh.
and also Culture Index and Click Consulting. They work with Culture Index. So I'm big on that, right? Is you have to know who you are and who you aren't, and
Right.
there's ways to do that. I did a lot of work to learn who I am and what I am and what I'm not and what God made me to be. But I used to think that everybody is a salesperson. Like
Right.
if you worked for me, you should be able to sell something, and not everybody can sell. And so I kept a lot of people around, giving them a salary, giving them an hourly rate, um, when I should have just had people selling, right? And that's the lesson I learned. But I also learned that everyone's not a salesperson, and so it's kind of insanity to think that I'm going to teach some old dog a new trick,
Mm.
unless I'm doing the right thing, like TJ and Jackie do. Right? They do these employee assessments, and they're not quizzes and they're not tests, but it's like an assessment to just see what your personality's like.
Right. Personality profile.
And so you get to see who you are, right? And you get to see who you're not, and then you get to live in your strength, right? So my profile is I'm a visionary, and I have a trailblazing personality. So it's not hard for me to shift gears and go from. We could talk about 27 products today, about whatever you want to do, because that's easy, right? Where some people can only talk about that one thing in their box, and they don't have enough in their toolbox. That's not a problem for me. It's easy for me to talk about it. Now you ask me to go and fulfill the order after I've sold it, go make the sandwich in the back.
Right.
I'm probably the worst guy in the world to, like, I don't tarp roofs, right?
Right.
Except once I did it right before Harvey, right? But if you want the best tarp roof in the world, I got the crew, right?
Yeah.
We will deliver on that. If you want me to go tarp your roof or change your oil, good luck.
That is great.
Knowing who you are and what you aren't, and partnering up with people that are like-minded, that share your solution and help you be the best version of you that you can be, works. And so that's why, Roof MD at Lone Star Roof Systems, like we're better together. And so these guys were my partners. We went to college together. A lot of people at A&M and industrial distribution got into the roofing business.
Okay.
And so it's a small world to start, and then you get into business. See you, buddy. We get into business, and you just stay connected, right? And so this guy, I got into distribution. I was in McKinney, Texas, and I started shipping Lone Star back in College Station, truckloads of shingles in 04. And so, he went off to Florida, did some storm chasing. I was shipping him product there, and he's the one roofer. So I've roofed my dad's house on my own as Roof MD, but he roofed my dad's house in 2005 when it had wood shakes.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what I was even doing then. I should have been the guy, but I didn't moonlight until 2013. But I learned that there's a lot of distribution that might have moonlighted more than I realized. I was trying to keep it clean, but Lone Star Roof Systems is the only company that they roofed my mom's house and they roofed my dad's house, and I can't even say that about my own company.
That's pretty big,
right? I've roofed my dad's house. I've never roofed my mom's house, so it's kind of like perfect harmony, and that we partnered up. We do Duralast roof systems
Get
a lot.
the fuck out of here! Really?
Yeah. So we
That's
just
what I started doing in roofing was Duralast roofing systems.
Yeah. So we do a ton of Duralast. We don't have like exclusivity on it, right? In Houston,
Right.
We're based in College Station,
Pretty
but
big company,
I run the
Duralast.
Houston. Yeah, I run the Houston market for them, but like we did Maggiano's as a repair warranty work for them.
Okay.
So we
Shout out to Duralast.
Yeah, we do.
Awesome roofing system and awesome products.
So when you combine what they offer, they've kind of evolved and learned their craft. They just starting up a metal manufacturing system that they'll start distribute to make for other roofers.
Metal clad.
Yeah. So we'll be doing some of that and kind of helping, help out another roofing contractor.
That is awesome. I ran into
material.
Duralast at IRE this year, and I said, hey, I started out doing Duralast, and they said, what company? And I told them, Renew Roofing out of the Waxahachie area. They're like, I know, Bobby. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's like, dude, that's freaking awesome because they have an integral a hand with every single one of their contractors as well as the jobs. Duralast Systems is what I started on, so I have a lot of passion for that.
Yeah,
we got Jeff Schmeckel laying on top of the.
What what I think is funny is
Deal
you
over
get
here.
distribution that, as an old distributor guy, you get distribution that thinks that Duralast is competing with them, rather than realizing you buy a ton of metal and you have to buy a ton of ISO.
Absolutely.
So if you're a Duralast contractor, you can only buy the membrane direct, right?
Right.
You can maybe get the ISO, but it's a bill through, and you still got to sell stuff. And these other guys don't. They don't always realize it. Like ABC, those guys, they think that's all we did, and it's like, why don't you go build a relationship and have a connection and learn about stuff? But it's easy not to, right? It's
Right.
easy to have
100%.
contempt prior to investigation. It's easy to hold someone guilty to something that you don't that's not even true until you want to go get the facts. So but Duralast, man, yeah, I didn't like them back in the day, but I knew that I could sell ISO.
Yeah.
And so I tried to sell ISO. Whenever I meet a guy, I try to sell him ISO and then flip
I
him.
didn't like installing it, to be quite honest, because they're so anal retentive.
Oh, it's
Every
funny,
fucking job.
every job, and it's like carpet, right? And so it's like it's a pain in the butt because I want to have inventory because I'm a distributor.
100%.
I'm a big fan of things in bulk, and more is always usually a better thing.
Spec'd out per job.
Yeah, but they make it so that you've got cut pieces that fit per job, so it's a custom job every single time. Versus, a TPO installer, it's what do they have left in their truck? Is it the same product? Is it the same manufacturer? Is it the same thickness? Right? You
Right.
could get whatever. Hopefully not. Right? Hopefully you're using a quality, reputable, real deal roofer. But
Right.
you might be getting one from those other guys. So
One of the other guys.
yeah, the roof Don, huh? My last name being Donaldson. My grandfather's name was Don, so I probably had some contempt prior to investigation before
That's
I met
funny.
you, but because I like the name.
I didn't even come up with the name.
Oh, really?
No, I never. I didn't come up with it. We were at Win the Storm in 21 in Louisiana. I think 21 was in Louisiana. And I had just gotten a new truck with the company I was with. And then they took it away. Anyway, so I'm standing next to the truck and I got a 3-piece suit on because I have a flair for nice shit. I really like suits.
Some showy as fuck.
It makes me feel good. I don't give a damn what anybody else thinks. It makes me feel good.
Hey, that's like Deion Sanders. I say this one all the time. If you feel good, if you feel good, you play good. If you play good, or if you look good, if you feel good, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. If you play good, they pay good, and then you can go do good. And hopefully that good is for God, not just for yourself.
100%.
But yeah, feeling good is important, right?
Yeah, I was standing next to my truck and he took a photo real quick so that you can get the convention center in the background. And he goes, "Dude, you look like a Don." I was like, "Huh? That's like a gangster." He goes, "Yeah. The Roof Don." I'm like, "Dude, that is catchy." All right, I'm stealing that shit. No problem, man. And it just it went from there. It was weird.
Nice.
It's weird.
Mine's if you want to get a hold of me, it's 832-9. It's 832-MY6 roof. So if you got a sick roof and you need the roof doctor to help provide you the solution for a healthy roof, call 832-MY6 roof. But hopefully you don't have a sick roof because you've already called me. But if you didn't, you can also call my other office number, 832-9-Mr. Roof.
Woo!
Ready to go at all times.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm happy to sell you that number if you want a good partner on Mr. Roof. I need to find a domain or whatever for it. But
oh yeah, that would be absolutely advantageous.
Oh yeah, big. What I can't wait to do, I'm gonna do it, and this is an ego thing, totally. But it's I want to get. Maybe Darren will sponsor it, and all my the calls will just come here, and he can have a guy take the leads down for me.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get an airplane, right?
Oh,
with the little banner behind it, and it says right after a hurricane, it says call 832.
Let's partner up on this plane because
I like to make the phone ring. That's my favorite thing to do in the whole world. Because after that, it's like work, and I don't mind the work part, but don't make me have to strap down the truck.
But if you love what you do,
yeah,
it's not so much work. So if you could bring that plane into it.
No, the plane will make the phone ring, and that's what I don't understand is roofers that don't. I'm as busy as I want to be.
That's marketing right there. Let's talk about marketing.
Yeah, I'm as busy as I want to be. So the guys that say that they don't have jobs, it's because they don't want to go work. Now, do I want something for nothing? Yeah, I just told Darren, hey, find me a roofing. Tell a roofing company they need someone to go help them, I'll go help them, right? Just to help because I want to be helpful and I like something for nothing, but who doesn't, right? But a lot of roofers,
Very, very few.
don't know how to consistently generate business in a down market, right? And you're not gonna have a hurricane or hailstorm all the time, right? It's easy, right?
Preach it.
Yeah.
Shake that bush.
I don't know who you. I don't know. I know who your old counterpart, how he got a lot of his business. It's not what you know, even though once you meet him, it's what you know.
It's who you know.
But it's who you know, and
Absolutely.
and it's how's God working in your life versus how, right? And you just let him work in your life. You don't know how, you just let him, and you let those relationships work. But they got to know. First thing in sales is right. They got to know who you are, right? If they don't know who you are, how the hell can they do business with you? If they don't, that's why this thing's a great thing that you're doing. None of my clients need to call the roof Donna. You call me direct. I'll take the call.
100%.
Phone's always on.
Absolutely. But there's a lot of people out there that, they're looking for innovation. They're looking for education, right? And so, we have contractors that are watching right now that like we were talking about the cost plus model. They may be looking into going into
like they do here at RSI, the cost plus model.
Cost plus model.
Selling them cheap and stacking them deep. No, I'm joking. Go ahead. They looking for innovation. The owner just walked out. We have to give him a hard time.
Oh my gosh, you gotta love.
He's not selling them cheap. He actually provides value, gives good service,
very good value.
A lot of other distribution guys don't know how to do that, but they do here.
Man,
but what were you gonna say about? You were talking about the innovation. Sorry to interrupt you. I lost your flow, but making people know who you are.
Oh yeah, that's right. So I mean, there's people that are online that there's roofers that are probably watching and or will watch in the future, and they're on the cusp of doing something different. So would you give anybody any kind of advice as a business owner and or a decision maker in a business when they're thinking about doing something else that's outside of their normal comfort zone?
Oh, sure. I mean, one, not everybody's your competition is probably the first advice in the world. Everyone's afraid of losing something they have or not getting what they want, right? And so if you realize that nothing from nothing is nothing, it's better to have something. Then, you start partnering with God. You start partnering with another roofing contractor. You start partnering with a gutter guy. You partner with different people. Partner with somebody in a related industry that might know people that you want to know. You can build a symbiotic relationship with them. It doesn't have to be all competition. And so, I'm a part of a group, Roofers in Recovery, right, from sobriety. We share best practices all the time. I'm a part of Commercial Roofing Academy, guys all over the country. Like I could go sell roofs all over the country if I wanted to, right? But Houston is home. Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I could do it the right way. There's so many people that leave companies and you have a bad relationship and you're not amicable and you got tension and whatever, and it's hard to sleep at night, right? Or you can do things the right way and have good relationships and make things whole and try to
I love
help
leaving
people
on good ground.
Yeah, try to help people and so that's I'd say is just don't see everybody as a competitor. See everyone as they have something to offer you, and try to make yourself where you have something to offer them. Because for a long time, I wanted to, like I said, something for nothing. Not very different from any other person out there, right? We're all selfish and self-centered in some capacity, but I didn't want to have a worthwhile, sellable, marketable business versus having something to offer, something good for someone else. Like my skill set in sales helps the guys that don't always have sales, right? They have great production, they have great quality, they have great expertise in mechanical aspects, right? But they might need some sales in Houston. If they don't have anyone in Houston, how can they sell? And so it's like partnering up with the right people, and nobody's better to partner up with than God and Darren Bro and RSI, Roofing Supply Inc. So
I love it. All right, Roofing on the Rise podcast. We had a lot of people today. We had Mark Donaldson with Roof MD. So awesome to be able to have you on today.
Yeah,
look forward to have you on in the future. This was fun.
Yeah, the whole talking about the details. I'm not opposed to doing it with the right people, but just because not everyone's a threat. So it's open up the industry and make people better.
I love it. If you're watching, keep watching. If you haven't yet, go like and subscribe. Go to our Spotify, go to Apple Music. We're there, and we'd love to have you subscribe and listen. Have a wonderful day. This is Roofing on the Rise. Catch us tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central, where we will be interviewing another roofing contractor that brings innovation to the roofing industry. Have a wonderful day.